his reaction immediately was to her, "You're a terrible person." And he didn't just think it. Like any politician, that's exactly what they're thinking. He just says it. Like, if that's what's in his head, you're a horrible person. You're a disgrace. You're a horrible. And it's like, it's at the same time horrifying and also like, it's kind of like refreshing. It's shockingly the honesty. As someone who loves honesty and has made my career about it as much as I could, it is. There's some level of it where you tip your hat and you go, wow, total honesty.
Bill Maher, a dope, once again misses the forest for the trees. Simultaneously, take a look at who he is seated next to.
The ultimate, the quiet piggy.
Right. Yeah.
That's the president of America.
No, that's
a quiet.
That's why I mean,
it's like all you can do is just, like.
I don't get mad when he sends out these tweets anymore about me. It's like, because the next day I feel like it's forgotten. Yeah, I don't know.
A long time ago, yeah.
I don't know if he remembers.
The slobber knocking from these buffoons over Trump is disturbing on really what is a level that should not be seen from this side of the political aisle.
The ballroom. Trump's ballroom.
You think, can we talk about that? It's like, who gives? I don't give a about this. It's like, yes, you've been there, I'm sure. You've seen like they have these tents and it's crazy. And like, now I was a table away when that assassination.
Oh, you were?
And it just, I'm like, I was stunned just walking in.
If you are a person out there who just hates the ballroom, that is a Rorschach test on you. That you go by if I hate this person, then I just have to hate everything they do.
Yeah.
And it's silly because this is the United States of America.
This is just insanely stupid. Before we dissect.
But look at the title. John Fetterman tells Maher that near-death experience freed him to speak out and says progressivism, quote, left me. So in other words, after I got brain damage, I became conservative. Thank you, John. John Fetterman appeared on Real Time with Bill Maher and explained his political evolution since being elected, insisting that progressivism left me. Real Time host Bill Maher began the interview Friday by showering the freshman senator with praise for repeatedly bucking the far left wing of the Democratic Party. By the way, let's be clear. The reason why Maher now absolutely loves him is because John Fetterman is one of the fiercest defenders of Israel that you will ever see. In the midst of the genocide and the ethnic cleansing, it's, bro, they're not doing anything wrong. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. And that's what Maher's been doing the whole time. And so he sees one of the only other people in the country going as hard in the paint as they are for Israel, and that's why he respects him now. Quote, when I see you, especially the last couple of years, you speak so freely, Maher told Fetterman. By the way, I love that it's like, the bigger the you are, and the more loudly wrong you are, the more, you're so brave.
Bill Maher asks him whether or not his near-death experience gave him the courage that he needed to be more open and honest about his true beliefs, and this was his response. Quote, absolutely, Fetterman responded. There's a line from the first Batman. Joker's like, I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. It's freeing in a way, and I just think after beating all of that, I just really want to be able to say the things that I have to really believe in and not be afraid of if there's any kind of blowback. Maher then asked him to explain what he meant when he stated last year, I'm not a progressive, I'm just a regular Democrat, and how he separates himself from progressivism. Quote, I didn't leave the label, it left me on that, Fetterman said. Sure, we've never heard that one before, John, but notice how he's not willing to pick a lane here. He's saying that he didn't leave the left and the left left him, but at the same time, his near-death experience freed him and allowed him to speak more candidly about his conservative views.
Let's not forget who John Fetterman is here, all right, and what his track record states of his character and moral compass. Recall this incident in 2013 when Fetterman, then mayor of Braddock, detained an unarmed black jogger because he heard gunshots. Fetterman would brandish a shotgun and demand the jogger wait. Furthermore, there is a pretty solid piece that was published. The title reads, Why Bill Maher and John Fetterman Are MAGA's Favorite Liberals. Here are two snippets, and then we'll react. For all their grandstanding, Maher and Fetterman's kvetch fest only revealed how snowflake fragile their egos are and how paper thin their ideas can be. As noted, Maher is still steaming over Larry David's My Dinner with Adolf column in the New York Times, which he continues to bring up in interviews. Oh my God, this is pathetic. As emblematic of the incivility of the left. But if Trump calls a female journalist piggy or a disgrace, it's met with giggles and praise for authenticity. The episode aptly demonstrates how Maher and Fetterman represent a troublesome sect of the non-MAGA chattering class. One represented by wealthy people who have had their feelings hurt to the point that they're now willfully oblivious to how much they actively serve Trump's interests. Downplaying indefensible acts, all while clutching pearls over college protesters and resistance libs, isn't brave. It's losing the plot. Yes, they are losing the plot, but I would also say that there's two schools of thought here. The first is like, oh, they're the bad libs, right? They're the bad libs. I don't view Bill Maher as a lib. I think that's where we disagree. I also heartily view John Fetterman as the person that he coined himself to be and even ran on being, which was progressive. He's not. And he's practically saying that his brain and what has happened to him over time has evolved into him being more conservative. I mean, he is the guy who voted to not stop the Iran war. He is a guy who thinks anybody investigating the Gaza genocide is a lunatic. He thinks he rather will only dress up when Bibi is coming to speak. He is a genocidal maniac who should be nowhere near the halls of Congress. He just shouldn't. He's mentally unfit. I would say to some degree unstable because of the accusations that have occurred and gone down with his wife. And then seeing how he has conducted himself in the past. This is a code red. This is a red flag for anybody if you are supporting a monster like this. So I think we're actually losing the plot when, you're saying that one person is a lib when they're not, and the other person is a progressive lib when they're not. I just view both of these freaks as being pro-genocide and really giving fascism a pass. And what eats up at Bill Maher is not only that he doesn't have an Emmy because he's being soft canceled, which is just utter malarkey, just like an ungodly amount of egotistical, narcissistic freak that is internally inside of Bill Maher. And I do agree, I concur that he cannot get over the criticisms from Larry David because it was right. Larry David was honest about it. And now you see Fetterman, who probably will take a backdoor deal at some point, potentially switch his allegiance or continue voting against what a majority of Americans want. That is where he is at. I think both of these men are just so out of their depth when they are trying to relate to the average American because they cannot. And both of them saying who gives an F about a ballroom. Here is where this could have really been stopped. This last assassination attempt. The Trump administration trying to do their best to have better security. Someone with a gun can run through like that. That shows me that you guys don't know what the heck you're doing. And also, they said that it was going to come from taxpayer funds. I'm sorry, private funds. Bad already. But now they're saying that they're going to take taxpayer money for it. Why? Why? We're already seeing what's going on with no-bid contracts, so Donald Jr. and Eric can benefit and take our tax money to enrich themselves, along with the Kushners and others. Why would they give this a pass as well? This is a waste. You want to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse? This is it. And yet they're just saying, who cares? Who gives an F? I do. A lot of Americans do. It's a stupid plan. And it shows once more with Fetterman just sucking up to this guy. Just sucking up to him. Oh, he's just so nice to me on a personal level. There's a lot of words I want to say that I can't. But please, I am begging you, Pennsylvania. Get this man away from Congress and send him home where he should be. He is not a legislator. He is a goon. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.